What we do is, for each edit-a-thon, we try to zero in on a theme, and along with that theme, or along with that target group, we try to partner with an organization that would have members who would want to edit Wikipedia about that theme.
So Wikipedia is like the world, right? Every single issue and debate that happens in the world happens on Wikipedia. And so Wikipedia is a battleground. Unfortunately, people of African descent are not represented on it right now to be able to, do on Wikipedia what's done on Black Twitter. That's what we're trying to change in this room. But to show you and to illustrate that Wikipedia is a battleground, let's look at this article that came out earlier this year about Wikipedia edits the pages on New York police killings traced to NYPD headquarters, right? So NYPD edits Wikipedia to make sure that Wikipedia reflects its view of the world, okay? And so does just about every major organization in this country and globally now. And so Wikipedia that is why, if Black people are not editing Wikipedia, very often people come and tell me, well, the entries are so biased. Well, everybody else is watching Wikipedia, making sure their voice is heard on it, editing it. Just like the NYPD edits Wikipedia, the people who disagree with the NYPD on what happens in those shootings and those killings should be editing as well.
I am Teofilo Colon Jr. and I have a website called beinggarifuna.com. It's a website that pretty much documents the history, the culture, the social activities, news, current events of the Garifuna ethnic. The reason why it's important for Garifuna and Peril to be on Wikipedia is not only is it a unique, award-winning independent film, but it's also one of the first attempts to chronicle and express the values, the history, the culture of the Garifuna ethnic group.
Starting a Wikipedia for any language that is in danger of disappearing is a great way to actually preserve the language, because all of a sudden you have a language, and I think this happened for one of the South African languages, like I think Xhosa, right? So you have a language where there's, Xhosa. Yeah, Xhosa. So you have a language where maybe there's 10 books written, right? And no one can find the books. The books have to be found in the National Library of South Africa, or just at the National Archives here, and then all of a sudden there's like a website, a full encyclopedia in that language on the web. You can see, right, obviously how it makes it more accessible maybe for the younger people in that language who may not speak it very well. It makes it more accessible to anyone who wants to learn it. All of a sudden you can find it on the web. So we've actually done that for Garifuna, which is a language spoken by the Garifunas of Central America and the Caribbean, who are a mixture of African and native Caribbean. And so we've actually started, as part of this project, an incubator, because right now it only has one entry, but we're trying to grow the Garifuna Wikipedia so long as people who speak Garifuna actually adopt it.
Wikipedia is where you go to find out what the Kardashians are doing, and where you go to find out what happened in World War II. It's where you go to find out who invented the cake fork. I mean, it's a very well-used site, but unfortunately is, as has been the criticism sometimes, is not perfect. And by the nature of it being an open source site that the entire world can use, you're going to have different clashes of opinions on specific histories and whether it's right or the perspective is right. But the great thing about Wikipedia is everyone can use it. And so if something is off in your encyclopedia at home that you used to go through with your finger, and it's kind of, that's the way it is, it's going to stay that way. But if you go on Wikipedia, it can be changed. There are editors all over the world who change and help Wikipedia to evolve.